Hello everybody, and welcome to my critical thinking presentation. The general topic of my presentations are consumerism, but today I'll be focusing on consolidation companies and whether or not they are friend or foe. So my behavioral objective is to stimulate your cognitive thinking skills with the topic of whether or not consolidation companies are a trustworthy option when engaging in debt management. So after this presentation, you'll be able to understand the controversy regarding consolidation companies while being able to distinguish what they claim to do and what they actually do with your money. And you guys will also learn an alternate company to go to when you're in debt. So just really quick, has anybody ever had any experience with consolidation companies or anybody's families with the whole crisis right now? Okay, so for those of you that don't know what they do, they combine several of your debts into one loan to reduce monthly payments. They do this by calling your creditors and your banks and negotiating a lower interest rate and amount. And they can also be known as debt negotiation or debt settlement companies. So strengths of these companies is one, of course, they negotiate interest rates with your creditors and banks to ultimately lead you to a lower monthly payment. And they claim that they can save you up to 40 to 60% on your original debt. Number two, they stop the harassing calls from collections saying, pay me, or else, we're going to take legal action. So number three, no more legal threats to you from your creditors or your actual employers. They can actually send a garnishment to your work saying, withhold, John's wages because he owes me this much money. So withhold his wages until he pays me the full amount, and then you can start giving him his paycheck again. And then number four, they give you peace of mind because, when you're in that much debt, you're in panic mode. So you go to one of these companies and you're like, please, help me talk to my banks, get me a lower rate, just take it because I don't know what to do from here. So they tell you, relax, we'll talk to them, just sit at home, wait for our call, don't worry about it. And then a lot of them claim that they are a nonprofit. And this guy here at the bottom that looks all stressed out, his name is John Smith. I have a scenario for him. He is a financial advisor who attempted to start his own small business called Smith Wealth Management. So he took out $38,000, to try to get his company going, and turns out he doesn't really have that great of networking skills. He doesn't have that many friends of friends, so he has not enough clients to provide enough income to pay his debt. So one of the loans was $10,000 at 12% for 2 years, which equals out to a $517 monthly payment. And then the second one is $20,000 at 10% for 4 years, and that one equals to $583. So total every month for just his company that's failing, he has to pay $1,100, which after 4 years equals to $40,392. So he's in panic mode. He doesn't know what to do. So he goes to a consolidation company and says, help me, here's all my documents, here's my bank, please talk to them for me. And then they say, you know what, we'll do it, just give us your documents, sign this form saying that you'll stay with us till you're debt free. He says, okay. So a week or so later, John's sitting at home, and I call him and they say, we have great news. We have a new interest rate for you, 9%, and that's with your whole $30,000 loan total. So that brings you to $640 a month. So he's saving $460. So he's excited. Sounds good, right, everybody? Until you hear my weaknesses. So what they didn't tell John is that he has a new rate and it sounds good, but now it's going to take him 6 years to pay off. So they didn't tell him that with add-on of time, interest, and their service fees, that his new loan is going to come out to $46,080. So that's almost $6,000 more than the original loan. So what happened to them negotiating with the banks a lower rate? They didn't. They didn't negotiate an interest rate. They figured out a price that they could sell his loan back to the bank to. So whatever sounded good to the bank, they took it. But for the rest of the time, the consolidation company is who gets the excess money. They're who gets the extra $6,000. So when you think they're negotiating an interest rate, they're really negotiating the amount. And where does the rest of the money go? To them, and they claim that they're nonprofit. So number 3, they also don't stop collections from harassing you. The only legal way collections can stop calling you is if you hire an attorney. Because if you owe a company money, then they're allowed to call you and say until you pay them, the full amount. So under the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act, it states that if you hire an attorney, do you have a question?
What people harass you? Like what companies would harass you?
Like if you don't pay, say you have a medical bill, and you went to the emergency room, so it was $50, and then you didn't pay it, so now it increased. If you don't pay it, like by the due date, because they send you like the bills in the mail, and if they keep sending it to you and you don't respond, then they call you and call you and call you until you pay.
Okay.
Yeah, so they won't stop calling you until But if you hire an attorney, because if you're in that much debt, people hire an attorney because they don't want to deal with it. So that's the only real way that you can avoid that. And if they keep calling you, if you do hire an attorney, then you can sue them. So yeah, and as far as John, the payment is actually lower because the period of time is extended, and the longer you stay in debt, the more you're paying your creditor. And I have a video.
I have a quick question. Sorry.
Yeah.
Is he paying essentially the additional $6,000 just to have 2 more years to be able to pay it off?
He's paying the additional to have, yeah, I guess that too, but not necessarily. He's paying it for the lower rate. So they're telling him, so even if it wasn't 6 years, he thinks he's going to get out in 4 because that's what his loan is. So he thinks that the consolidation companies are getting him a lower rate, and it sounds like they are because of what they're telling him, and he's excited about it. So when he does find out that it is going to take him 6 years, there's nothing he can do because he already signed a contract with them saying that he's going to stay with them until he's debt free. But it's really up to you if you want to get mad or not at it, but he's paying for the lower rate, which in the end costs more.